there in time, and yeah, you go back to that drive from Renegades. Definitely one of the better drives for them, but they cannot finish. That's been the biggest issue. That final shot coming out, someone's not there. NRG were low on boost. It was a perfect opportunity for Renegades to strike, but haven't been too solid for them. Here's Garrett looking for the dunk. Set up Justin, looking for the top left corner. Won't be able to find it.
As Renegades need any semblance of offense here. At least they've kept NRG in check. We've seen NRG just run up the score by this point in the first couple of games in this series. Renegades have him at arm's length, but they've got to score sooner rather than later. Fever. He's been the guy for Renegades so far. Garrett G couldn't get this away, and CJ adds his first tally.
I said they're not done yet, Stacks. You see CJ getting big here. Notices Garrett, it's awkward. Plays the 50 perfectly for the dunk. Justin won't be able to get there. Renegades are within one. They got to make something happen here in the next minute 35.
And I'm sure his teammates, when all this is said and done, will clown him over scoring a 3-mile-an-hour goal. Old man getting it done still. Garrett G looking to get that goal right back. Got the flip reset on target, but CJ dished that away. And Renegades have had a tendency to get in each other's way. This ball brought back in. Now Fever. Launch one downfield. Justin's got it as Kami them out. Good luck doing that against a team like NRG.
Chance here for another goal. CJ able to make contact there. Justin off the back wall has a lot of boost, but still loses that 50. It's a race here. Good win from Kami. Not going to be able to make the follow-up, so Squishy will put it in midfield, but there's someone from Renegades to meet him. This is a good drive for them, but they got to hold on to the possession. You see NRG trying to pass the ball out, and it's a battle for these 50-50s every comes to driving up the field.
Looked like a little indecisiveness there out of Fever too. Couldn't decide whether or not he was going to start dribbling or try and pop that in the air, and it cost him. Demolition on the back wall, and nobody got a shot off as this goes back the other way. Renegades again struggling to capitalize on the few moments where they do kind of bully NRG around. CJ has this though. This is the last chance for Renegades. Do or die here. Fever shot denied by Squishy. Follow up. So CJ keeps us alive. Down to 10 seconds left. Down in front. Fever can't tie the game. Now Kami will try. CJ. No Fever boost. Keeps it alive, but nothing in the tank. And the General NRG lives to fight Queso later today.
NRG come through with a 3-0 sweep here on Renegades, but Renegades literally used everything they had left in the tank in that series. Just comes down to not having enough, as NRG were able to just kind of manage the pace of game, catch Renegades when they were low on boost, and then just get those clears out. That was a tough loss there for Renegades. And for NRG, their day is just getting started.
Squishy got them out of the starting blocks. They came out with just goal after goal. He had 6 in the series. Again, he doubled his total for this Winter Major in this series alone, and then it was the defense of the General NRG that got them across the finish line at the end. They had to withstand a massive onslaught from a Renegades team that did indeed give everything they had, and it just moves to 3-2 against Oceanic competition in the RLCS as we look at the Mobile One high performance replay and see just how Garrett G led by example. Got beat there by CJ. But it was not enough to overcome the lead again from NRG early in the game.
Yeah, you're right. Once NRG got going, it was really Renegades playing from behind for the most part, as lots of strong starts in terms of goals for them. Even then, Renegades, still showed some fight. At the end of the day, obviously the General NRG, they're looking to make it to Saturday. They have to keep this level of play up, Stacks, because again, I don't think Team Queso is going to give them the amount of space Renegades got him. Squishy was very comfortable in the air, and when you're going up against a team that's just as mechanical as NRG, they're going to run into some struggles. But still, regardless, that is going to be a really good start. They're going to run into some struggles, but still, regardless, that is going to be a really good start here for NRG.
Yeah, it is going to get just a little bit faster, so that's a nice little warm-up for NRG. Let's go over to Stumpy now, standing by with Captain America, Garrett G.
Not quite Garrett G, but I am here with Sis, who has just come off the back of an amazing win versus Renegades, where it was do or die, which is a rare situation for NRG to find themselves in. How was that for the team?
I mean, is it rare? we have been last LAN too. I mean, we're slow start. We always slow start most LANs, but I don't know. I'm glad we just came in confident. Like, we played this team before, so we didn't really hesitate, didn't overthink too much. Just came in with the same game plan yesterday, and it worked out.
I mean, it was a huge start in this series as well, scoring like 5 goals in 1 minute in game 1, game 2. Did it go a bit better than you thought? Was there a moment where you're thinking, okay, like we said, do or die, we need to get this done?
I definitely think it went better than we thought, because I mean they beat Furia, and Furia was like competing all tournament. It felt like they were playing really well, and so I don't know. We thought maybe they played a little differently today. They did reviews on the VODs of our game, so maybe they'll play a little different. But, we did some VOD review too. We talked about some stuff, and we came in just confident this series.
So looking forward then to the rest of the competition, how are you feeling going through? Now you know that you're down in the lowers, still coming in as 3rd. How does that lower bracket look to you?
It's a tough bracket. It's not easy at all. I mean, we play Queso next. That's going to be a really hard match. I mean, we did whatever prep we could for them. We're going to go in confident again, as always, and try to keep our comms up. I think that's a big thing this tournament is keeping our comms up high. We can make sure we're not double committing, make sure we're rotating properly, and controlling when we can, giving the ball away when we can, and just trying to play possession.
You've obviously got a lot on your shoulders with North America right now, and the Americas occupying the upper side of the bracket, but being down in the lowers alongside every other EU team. How do you feel your chances are working your way through that lowers, doing one of the magnificent runs we've seen from North American teams historically?
I mean, it's good to see North American teams for sure in the upper bracket. I'm glad that happened. It could have actually been 4 North American teams yesterday if we played a little bit better in the endpoint series. But it'll be fun going through the lower bracket. I don't think it's anything we're not used to. We've done it a lot, in the regionals and the majors. So I think we're comfortable. We'll go in elimination matches. We'll get nervous, and I think we have a little bit more experience on just LANs in general. So we'll just go in like I said earlier, just confident. They know what they're doing. They're LAN players, so. Elimination matches are just usual to them.
You have a crowd, finally, after a few years. You need to win one more. You need to take down Queso to go and see that crowd in LA on home soil. It's a big task. Are you excited to hopefully play in front of that crowd? Be there as the coach on stage? I appreciate it's a dumb question, because obviously yes, but the excitement, it's there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, all we really wanted to do this whole time was just make crowd. Like, it's if you could have gone through the upper bracket, it would have been nice, but at the end of the day, all we want to do is see a crowd. It's been a while since the last LAN with the crowd since season 8, and we won that LAN, so maybe you have the crowd boost again, so hopefully we can make it. Really want to see the crowd, really want to see all the fans, and yeah, we'll see you guys there.
That'd be fantastic. Well, that was Sis from NRG. After the break, we've got a lot more Rocket League coming up. You don't want to go anywhere, don't go anywhere.
É bom.
Delete that. Got any games on your phone?
It's 3 a.m. I need a taquito. Skippy, light bulbs, antifreeze. Here's your order, nacho cheese. Tippy driver.
This might not be your car, and this might not be your engine. Maybe this isn't your morning routine, and maybe these aren't your coworkers. Perhaps these aren't your standard driving conditions. Far from it. But this is your oil, which means you're one of us, doesn't it? For serious engines, on and off the track. To Mobile One.
You can watch a TV. Fish forever. Ne? Det var så fel.
Ja, welke vliegjes? This is Rocket Fleet. That's a Rocket Fleet. Maybe some here. Rocket Fleet. Rocket Fleet. Begin! Oh, cute! Mama, 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 warum steht ein Rocket League Spiel auf deiner Seite? Ich würde es gerade kaufen, aber es gibt's nicht. Mama, Rocket League.
Das ist bestimmt eine Bibliothek.
Und wo? Hier oder was?
Nein, hier weiter mit weiter. Weiter.
Mama, wo?
Weiter.
Ja, wo?
Ja, da.
Ja, da. Und du Rocket League schreiben. Ja, das ist kaputt wieder.
Egal, schmeiß diese scheiß Controller weg. Die funktionieren nicht mal.
Wieder!
Mach mal auf jetzt, komm. Das ist nur Wasser, guck. Ja, das ist nur Wasser. Lass so, das ist Wasser, guck.
Aber jetzt geht es.
Ich mach ganz langsam, okay? Ich muss sauber machen. Willst du wieder rot haben? Ich mach langsam. Ich nur von auf.
Ich will schon ein Spiel. Was ist ein Spiel? Mama.
A few things have returned to normal as NRG is able to get the sweep there on Renegades for the match to keep them in the bracket here. I'm Wave Punk, joined by Gibbs. I got Jamako on the desk here. I'm flubbling my words all over the place.
I'm doing fine. I mean, how could I not be doing fine?
You had a pretty good day.
Yeah.
You were angry earlier, but now he's happy.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was getting the furia in me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just channeling the team. I love it. How you doing, Crowley?
Fantastic. Winter Major has been exciting as always, or as usual, and I'm with you. I was excited about that for your win.
Well, let's talk about NRG here for just a moment. They getting the victory over Renegades. Renegades now going home. As we take a look at some of the highlights. NRG though getting work done. I mean, Fizz says there's
energy and be like, we have one life, guys, and that's it. That's all that matters, because as soon as they have one life left, they just destroy everyone, it seems like, and they did it here.
I got one big question for NRG. Why?
Yeah,
did you do this?
Day one, please show up on a day one.
Just for once, play well on day one. And I think I'm speaking for a lot of the general fans out there. My goodness, it's been painful to watch them in the groups during this split.
And I'm speaking for OCE as well. Why? Don't do this to us.
Yeah,
OCE's like,
exactly.
Oh, we have a chance, and then you go into game one and like, no, we don't have a chance.
We out.
We don't.
Here.
It's over.
My only argument, my only thought is that they're just bored with doing upper bracket runs. They're like, let's just get as close to being eliminated as possible for the more fun here. I don't know, but it is. Yeah, I think the NRG fans would just love to. The groups that are now concluded. This is the last time we're going to show you the group stage here. Every one of them decided. Furia taking Group B, V1, G2, and SSG, the winners there. Two of those teams.
We're talking, we were both 0-4 with our group winners. We got none of them correct, and that is exactly how I want this tournament to play out. We don't know what's going to happen. Every single match, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, Crow?
Well, I think I'm with you. I was 0-4 as well. I mean, it's pretty tough, but I'm not upset with seeing who's there. A lot of second chances, and I tweeted this earlier, but 3 of these teams made changes to their roster on the NA side, have paid off, finishing top 6 at least here at this Winter Major.
Big adjustments as it puts them into the top of the bracket there. You can see 3 North American teams and 1 South American team going to have 2 lives in our bracket, and now it's time for lower round 1. We're about to send 4 more teams home, Jamako.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what is happening at the upper bracket, but yeah, we gotta go on the lower, and it's not any easier. It's still as tough on the lower bracket because we have teams gonna fight for the for the life.
Well, we're gonna work from the bottom up on this bracket. We're gonna start with Endpoint versus FaZe. One of these teams going home, one of them getting to play in front of a crowd. Both teams came in as exclamation points of this event. I'm excited to see which one is able to go. How close of a match is this? Is FaZe in form? And the big is FaZe in form? And the big questions here, as we take a look at Endpoint getting ready for this match, Corelli, Endpoint looked devastating.
They were, and I think that's why there's a lot of excitement for them going up against this FaZe clan, who I have not been impressed with. They have been very lackluster here in Group A. I really don't have a lot of trust in FaZe. When we saw them play against Queso, they had some control, and I thought maybe, okay, now we're going to see the FaZe clan that we all expected, but the way they blew out in that Queso game, in that Queso series, really has me concerned going into this matchup against Endpoint.
Yeah, for Endpoint here. I mean, I think it looks like maybe they're fine now, but people.
So we saw this on day 2 where they lost a close match versus Furia, and then they bounced back and beat NRG. And that was right after. Now they had a little bit more time. Maybe they were hoping NRG and Renegades went to 5, so they would have a little bit more time to regroup.
I don't know if they want more time. They're
true,
so
maybe.
good at the mid-game, the mid-series timeout, like pop up, do some jumping jacks, sit back down, play a completely different series. I feel like giving them extra time here, Chamaco, is just going to give them more time to get in their own heads about, like, if we lose this, we're done and we're going home.
Well, the thing is, they lost to Furia, but I didn't see them playing bad. I think they were doing good. I just think Furia was a little bit better today, but they did so many things good throughout the series. They changed their play style a little bit to adapt to what Furia was doing. So if they can't keep it up like that against FaZe, who is not performing their best, I still think they have a good chance.
FaZe getting ready to take them on. FaZe again. It's an elimination game. Playing in front of a crowd. Hard to believe that between Metzenaris, Seiko, First Killer versus AJ, two of those 4 players not going to be at YouTube Theater.
I know Tyler Bates is not up here on the desk, but I can't wait to see my boy Seiko go to work here against FaZe. I feel like, you know, even in that loss against Furia, he looked great in a couple of those attacks, and I feel like for Endpoint, he really is going to be the guy that you have to rely on to make those big-time plays against a team like FaZe.
There's a lot of question marks, but AJ was so confident going up against Europe. They were 3-0, I believe, at Fall Major, but they lost to Queso, the first loss by FaZe to a European team. So now there's some doubts. There's a lot of question marks, but they get a European team in Endpoint. And if there's any team that can bounce back, I think FaZe, they have 3 just class acts in terms of mechanics that they can find that form. It seems like each day one player's doing well. They need 2, maybe all 3 to pop off here.
Well, let's get the thoughts from chat with the Verizon fan vote. Use hashtag FAZE, FaZe for FaZe. Use hashtag END for Team Endpoint. Let's go down the line here, gentlemen. We'll start with you, Corelli. You got to make a decision who you think's going to win.
Endpoint.
Endpoint? Okay.
That was quick.
Wow.
Endpoint.
All right.
I think they're going to be a better team than FaZe right now. I think they've had some tough opponents that maybe look like they're not, or make them look like they're not as good, like the Furia matchup. But I think Furia was just a better team here today. I think Endpoint's going to have a much easier time.
Much easier time, but I think Endpoint is going to take the win here. I just don't see FaZe, like you said, I mean, one player is going and getting better, but the team as a whole, they haven't clicked yet. So that's my problem with FaZe right now. Any other time, I would have picked FaZe, but today, I'm picking Endpoint.
I'm looking for T-Bates to pop out and tell change the FaZe here real fast. That's not happening yet.
Well, historically, I'm a big critic of FaZe, but I'm a man of the people, and there's going to be a lot of FaZe jerseys in that crowd, and they want to see FaZe. I'm picking FaZe.
Okay, got FaZe on this side. Let's split the desk. Why not? I'll go FaZe as well on this one. I think it's going to be so close. It's going to come down to who woke up better. Can Endpoint bounce back after the loss to Furia? It's time for the game. One of these teams going home. Split right down the middle. Slightly more FaZe fans in chat. Will there be FaZe fans in their team play here in Los Angeles? This match decides it for one of these teams. One of them going home, one of them getting to survive yet another day. Endpoint in the blue, FaZe in the orange. The Verizon Skybox has James and Johnny.
Johnny, we're into bracket elimination play. And for Europe, it has not been looking good so far. And now we might see Endpoint, a team so much promise. Seiko, a player who has impressed us so much. Endpoint's journey could come to an end if FaZe can bring to the table what we've seen from in the past.
Team eliminated from EU or NA. So NA's been taking lots of wins this weekend. This is now the biggest test for a team who have been struggling. FaZe coming in as, I think, the underdogs based on form. And what on earth is going on here? No one attacking the ball at the near post, but luckily for FaZe, Endpoint didn't have a lot of momentum to work with either.
But an early taste of what Seiko can do. Saw the creativity. We even saw it yesterday. The plays, and now Relating Wave threatening the double tap. The ball getting cleared. Still FaZe stuck on defense, and we saw them stuck on defense quite a bit yesterday. Fumble the ball a bit.
Yeah, they need to find a way to challenge, well, in particular Seiko, but the entire Endpoint squad. I think Metza has really stepped up this line compared to the Fall Major, and it's Relating Wave who's had those moments. He's been struggling. He was obviously feeling pretty bad after the end of the last game. Big whiff leading to a Game 4 loss against Furia, which ended the series. But I think it's got to be that guy Seiko, mainly, that FaZe have got their eyes on.
As far as who do you keep your eye on FaZe Clan, it could be really any one of them, depending on who shows up first. Killer, he's been amazing offensively, defensively. Sypical had some great moments yesterday as well, but ultimately FaZe Clan was not able to put it all together in Game 5.
And AJ has been the one who's looked a bit more awkward on this roster since Illusion left the team, and now Sypical's in his place. I think AJ looked a lot more at home playing with Illusion, but let's see if they can synergize. It's a nice little back post approach there by Metsonoris. It was spotted early enough by Sypical. Now he offloads to first killer in the counter. Seiko going to control the ball in his goal line. It's confident defense coming out of Endpoint.
Shot coming in. Relating Wave will try to control. Doesn't have much support, so we'll take this to the ground. Can't get the challenge. Metza a bit awkward. We'll hit it backwards. You see Seiko having to deal with that audible, half flipping, trying to get it out. Now Relating Wave will punch it downfield in the corners. Little double tap there, but first killer able to challenge AJ on his own backboard. Now off the ceiling, Seiko a lob to the backboard. First killer there who's trying to boom it, but Metza there to slow it down. FaZe on the attack, however. A tip off to the side. Seiko's there. We'll have some boost to get back to the ball. Flip, reset, play, and it's blocked. But you saw how many defensemen were thrown at that play from FaZe.
Seiko just always demanding so many challenges. He does not get tackled by one. Hang on a second. AJ gets the opening goal. It bounces in off the far post. Huge back corner 50-50 by AJ.
And you see the ball bouncing. Metza actually slowing down, and you can see him getting lost in the corner, thinking that ball was going to stay there. So an interesting way to start out Game 1. FaZe, they'll take it. FaZe on their back tires for most of the start of the game, but will find that first goal. To the middle, Seiko up against First Killer. First Killer will get hit, but Sypical launched it back at his own net. Wasn't expecting that deflection, and they do clear it out.
That's a great interception there, not the one before, which almost went on his own net, but looking out for those infield passes. FaZe not looking vulnerable in the infield at the moment. That's actually a place where NRG had a ton of success against Endpoint yesterday. Tons of infield passes working out for them, so that's something to look out for in offense for FaZe. Here's a big chance for First Killer. Decides to slow roll Seiko. Seiko calls him on that one. Does get the defensive duty done.
Typical. Pitching that off to the corner. Metza testing FaZe on the net. First Killer, awkward bounce, but great speed, beating out Seiko to the ball, and AJ didn't get the flip reset, but you saw the idea.
Yeah, he went for something fancy there. He's definitely capable of doing things like that. Awkward angle resets. The defender's expecting just a simple touch. You never go for the simple option when FaZe are up against you.
If AJ can hit some plays like that, that would be a huge boost to FaZe, who've been looking to get him in a primary spot. Now Seiko downfield. The backboard denied from AJ. FaZe, they've had a few double commits, but they've still been able to shut down this attack, not letting Seiko have the space. There's a demo off ball. Seiko taking out AJ. Sypical starts the counter, and an easy put in from Sypical. You saw the demo. It was too much. The commit, Relating Wave was all alone.
Oh my, well, Relating Wave just doesn't know where to go as well. He's thinking that ball's coming up the back wall, turns into the corner, but the net's just wide open. He's just really dropped the ball there for Endpoint. And despite FaZe being under pressure for tons of this game, they're up by 2, and Endpoint are not looking very good in defense. This could be another opportunity actually going to bounce in.
Oh,
After 2 players miss. Easy goal for AJ, but again, Endpoint not able to make contact to the setup.
Oh, you see Seiko, he was all alone there yet again. Endpoint, a dismal series of events. And this Endpoint team having a rough start. FaZe, like you said, Johnny, they have been playing a lot of defense. And the goals that they've gotten have not been, you know, normal FaZe Clan goals. They have been scrappy goals.
Yeah. They count, and they're just as effective, and it's going to be enough to win this game. Time just getting away from Endpoint here. Will Endpoint be able to iron out those defensive mistakes in time? Only a best of 5. They're fighting for the tournament life, and they're fighting for what everybody wants this weekend. And that's to get to this stage in front of the crowd. They have to win this in order to do that. But FaZe Clan, they're finally putting it together. They had a good start against Queso in the group stage. Can they keep up this level against Endpoint, unlike their group stage performance?
We will find out. FaZe getting AJ involved, 2 goals, and also the defensive plays from FaZe. They were key. They had a few moments where Seiko had space. He had space. He fought for it, but FaZe Clan was able to read the play and shut it down, and we've seen a lot of teams struggle to do that.
Yeah, they've got to just do, well, the main thing against Seiko, just hit the ball. Just go for the ball, because he's probably going to go for lots of fakes. He actually nearly pulled one off with a fake into a flip reset. So if they could just keep on getting early challenges against Seiko, that's going to shut down Endpoint's main offensive player. And outside of that, Endpoint haven't really been too creative with their offensive plays. They're just going for long offensive boost starvation strategies. And that can work against some teams, but I think FaZe are quite efficient with their boost, and they're actually quite comfortable sitting back like this. So will Endpoint look for demos? Will they start to incorporate maybe more on the infield passing instead of just going for big solo plays? We'll have to wait and see.
We did see one demo play come out, and an early chance, a pass across net, not coming to fruition. But we saw a demo attempt from Endpoint last game. It was an off-ball demo from Seiko, and that put Relating Wave all alone on the counterattack. Yeah. And they got scored on. So they're going to have to make sure they time it right, because you mistime that demo like that, you dive in. You don't want FaZe to have a 1v1 situation, because no matter who has the ball on FaZe, they can make the dribble play.
Will either of these teams be able to win that mental war? It seems to be so impactful, especially towards the end of all the series this week. Endpoint, not known for being the loudest teams, but that's more not to say that they're quiet. It's because every other team's still loud. Hold on. AJ's getting loud with this one.
For Relating Wave, it looked like he ran out of gas. He stopped. Seiko's just watching. And wow. The lane towards net was about the size of a ball.
It was, yeah. It was the size of a ball.
Just enough. Any bigger, it was perfect shot.
Yeah,
right
perfect
down that
shot.
lane.
You called it right as well, though. The Relating Wave doing absolutely nothing there. He's got to challenge. He's already got Seiko and net behind him. He's got to go. He's got to let Seiko know what's going to happen a lot earlier. Just get into the position to challenge AJ. But yeah, Relating Wave really struggling to get into this. This day is not getting any better yet. But what a start for FaZe. They are capitalizing on all the Endpoint mistakes.
And it's been AJ who has been so impressive. That ground pinch, not a gimme. Had such good power, and also to place that where he did. Perfect placement. Strong start from FaZe. Will it be enough? AJ challenged by Relating Wave. Sypical has a lot of boost for this play. A demo from AJ. Sypical can't get to the challenge. Metza towards net, off the post, and it actually hits off First Killer to prevent the rebound.
That is ridiculous. Somehow FaZe have escaped from conceding in this position. Endpoint still in the attack here. Boost is not looking too great for FaZe other than First Killer.
Wow.
Challenges are still coming in, though. They're getting goal side of the ball. They're making sure to make it as difficult as possible for Endpoint, who are still piling on the pressure.
And you saw Endpoint going for that 1-2 passing play. Comfortable, but that shot, I mean, it's saved off the post. You have no idea where it's going, and it just happens to hit First Killer to prevent that rebound. Crazy series of events. Unfortunate for Endpoint, who are looking to tie this one up as we approach the halfway point of the game. A shot, far post, it's slotted by First Killer.
What a laser from First Killer. Perfect placement. And the guy just hits the ball so hard. That is disgusting. Honestly, as impressive as any of a flip reset goal we've seen this weekend, just to get the absolute perfect pixel in the ball for maximum power. First Killer, one of the best in the world at doing that.
And Metzel was back. He was right where he needed to be. Metzel was expecting the shot, and it still beat him. Another shot coming in, saved. A double up in net there from FaZe. First out of boost, trying to get that corner, does get it. Metza, infield pass, Seiko up. First also up, Seiko bailed out. Sipical down the side. The challenge from First Killer will push it even further down. Demo from Sipical, pass out, but nobody there. However, endpoint, oh, nice shot, but First Killer again there to deny it.
Yeah, routine saves from First Killer. This is what he does. He's shadowing. He wants somebody to force a shot in the midfield so that he can save it and take control of the ball. He is known for this from way back in his 1v1 days until now. Endpoint have got to think of something different, and how about that? That'll work. A much less predictable shot delivers the goods for them.
The power, they've been hammering that top post, and you can see Seiko letting Relating Wave take that shot, getting underneath the ball, basically doing nothing to that ball, teeing it up so that Relating Wave can take the shot, and a powerful shot finally beats the FaZe Clan defense. A key goal as well for Relating Wave, who has had a slow start this series.
Yeah, that's massive for Relating Wave, but they've still got work to do in game number 2, or else it'll be reverse sweep only to keep Endpoint alive. Now here comes 1v1 attempt, but the ball gets away from Seiko. Couldn't get there before AJ. Seiko still lurking in the back corner. Endpoint starting to apply more and more pressure as this game continues towards its ending.
Yeah, AJ, another quality challenge. Seiko trying to dribble that one up the wall. Now back to the midfield, Relating Wave trying to dribble it as well, but gets demoed by First. AJ taking it to the corner, a pinch from Seiko. He'll follow it up out of boost. We'll leave that for Relating Wave. First Killer. Nice play from First Killer. Being able to follow up his hit and then clear it out. AJ can't get the challenge. Seiko and Metza go.
Endpoint needing to communicate a lot more cleanly than this. There's the big chance. Relating Wave goes past it. I think both him and the defender expected a touch from each other, so they both end up missing while attempting blocks. Now still, Endpoint with an opportunity. Seiko tries to fake out First Killer, who's not having any of it. But Metza's got Seiko as an option in field. What a save again for FaZe.
Oh, and that net's vulnerable.
It
sneaks by. Relating Wave can't get back. You can see the look of devastation on his face. Wow, FaZe has been, and you even saw a little bit.
He was so close that on our view, he's like just almost getting that contact, but obviously we know that no contact was made. Goal goes in for FaZe. Still, the last chance here was save on the interfield pass though from First Killer, cutting it off and really just removing any chance for Endpoint to come back. They will lead 2-0 in the lower bracket round 1. Another reminder, winner of this series will play in front of a crowd in the top 8 of the competition. Loser will go home for bracket match. That must be pretty late in the tournament. No, lower bracket round 1. This bracket is ridiculous.
Yeah, we've had some surprises, some upsets. And talking about things that are upsets or upsetting, and 0 games to 2. FaZe Clan on match. play it, but first touch. And now Seiko has to get the mid boost, trusting Metza to get it up to him, and he does. But demoed Metza getting taken out by Sipical. Relating wave to the phase corner. First killer, nice challenge. Metza staying on the play, but won't make contact on the ball. Seiko in reverse won't be able to do much either. Sipical infield to AJ, going for the double, and it's blocked by Metza and Aris. A huge save.
Yeah, great read by Metza.
Yes. Look at
And that shot is wide related with at times as third man, but
I want to go. Give me my song.
AJ, that shot could be blocked by relating with the defense from Endpoint has been the difference maker.
Another big shot, but it's saved as well. So many huge stays coming out of Endpoint in this game. Seiko catches the back well. It's a scramble for phase to try and get this one clear, but the shot proves to be too difficult. Rolling with to finish it. That first killer in the counter. There's your fun, and he scores it. And going over to Killer goes one way, straight down the middle, no time wasted, and time to get it.
First killer immediately wants to do. There was no doubt in his mind. Here's the fun. When you're in that moment situation, if you can pull that off, it's so difficult to say. Tied it up in the final one, and the chance to take the lead. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Endpoint good in there. Seiko streaking in to make that save. Infield pass. Nobody will phase there.
The first one. The first one.
Look вытроп, новый супер.
Come on, oh, it's gonna be overtime. No! Damn it!
Something here. Defense has been fantastic. We're gonna need a little bit of offense to finish this up. Oh, so I don't know how that one went wide. Typical credit to the save there.
Look, Sammy! Look, Sammy!
Find another life.
Lion White, between this game and the last one, they should have scored some 4 goals that they have.
No!
Focus on the task in front of them. They have to.
Yes.
Face Both teams feeling massive pressure at the moment. It's visible, clear to see. Might just photograph something that we've been waiting years for. Pressure. You can see it on players' faces and in their gameplay. Down the gut. Seiko controlling it. Will flick it towards Ned. AJ there, double tap off the ceiling. Gets the demo out of the air as well. Typical, the shot back all the way. The shot too high, and now sent all the way downfield. Typical, definitely Seiko as well. Things starting to heat up. That has to be it for FaZe. Typical, hit the ball angle. You realize how open it was. Finishes the ball, top corner, banger by the man in the middle. FaZe Clan eliminate endpoint from the tournament. FaZe Clan finally gains that victory that's been so elusive to them. It's been a tough tournament, so they missed out in Game 5 yesterday. Particularly in a sweep. Eliminated, but that was not part of these. Even Seiko missing multiple times in that last game. By the situation, the immense pressure they're under, they've ended up with a situation after a tiebreaker earlier on in the day. It is tough for them. Yeah, good line for hard as well. But they're still going. That's it. Run throughout RLCS history. First kill that was massive in the final minute, getting that solo time goal. First kill having massive.
Nej. Ja, det är ju inne där. Nej. Ja. Nu ska det en gammal där. Ja, det är nog där. Det är ju på den. Yes? Kanske kommer back, ja? Eller så blir det. Hallå på dig, ja. Ja. Eller så med kaffe.
It's me, the tall menace. First killer. Man, how you feeling right now, man? You finally upgraded it. Now you got that. First match on stage going to be the winner of BDFB in the open play.
BDS, but
You know, I gotta ask you on the spot. Talk about we have to see a full North American top. That's what I hear, bro. Let's do it. It's the quality that I needed from you. Did you have that?
I've been like trying to have
So far, you
Hardly best for no work. You know what? G2's here to stay, baby. Myself included, and with also Chicago, one of the best dudes. You already know. 3-0.